During Sonic Frontiers marketing phase, one of the big things that was being pushed for the game was its combat. Sonic would be getting new moves to fight enemies with, and it would be super cool and fun to do. Now, Sonic is no stranger to combat, okay? The most notable being the Werehog in Sonic Unleashed. So for Sonic Frontiers, it looked like Sonic Team decided to take another swing at it. And personally, I think it's really cool. The moves Sonic pulls off are super flashy, and it adds this type of spectacle that Sonic Frontiers is really known for. But this is where the problems start. Sonic Frontiers combat leans too much into style over substance. And this is what we're going to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. How can Sonic Team improve the combat for the next game? Because I think they have a really good formula here, but there are some things that are just holding it back from being great. So the first thing I think is the most important thing, a ranking system. One of the core parts of a Sonic game that makes it super fun and replayable is the ranking system. And we have a ranking system in Sonic Frontiers, but it is super watered down. Instead of taking into consideration your rings, your score, how many times you've died, and the tricks you've done, the rank is solely based on your time. Now, even though this is a super watered down version of a ranking system, it can work with cyberspace levels. But in combat, this is just not an option. So we need to think of a different ranking system. And I think the answer isn't that hard. All we need to do is to look at Devil May Cry 5. In DMC 5, there's this ranking system that rewards players for getting high combos, using a variety of moves, and keeping a high combo. And the higher your rank, the more XP you get. With Sonic's moveset and speed, I feel like a similar system would work perfectly with his combat. And if we want to, we can add like the timing ranking so you can see how fast Sonic can beat the enemies, and you'll have a really rewarding and replayable combat rank system. Up next, we gotta deal with the style over substance situation. So Sonic has a total of 15 moves in the game, and most of them, if not all of them, do the same thing: damage enemies. The difference between them is their visuals. There's even a move that more or less does the exact same thing visually with the Sonic Boom and Sonic's Ki Blast that Sonic gets on later. There are some moves that are kinda unique, like the Psyloop and the Cyclone that launches the enemy into the air, but that's basically the extent of the uniqueness. Sonic is such a unique character with all these different moves, he needs more skills that do more than just damage an enemy. I think an obvious candidate could also be the Light Speed attack, which hasn't been in a mainline game since Sonic Adventure 2. I think another no-brainer would be some Chaos abilities. Now, I know that that's kind of like Shadow's whole style, but I think, like, listen, we know Sonic is known to use Chaos abilities like Chaos Control, so maybe he can use Chaos Control for a few seconds to stop time to do some damage. And while we're on the topic of Chaos abilities, let's give Sonic something similar to the Chaos Blast. Now, I know, again, that's Shadow's thing, but I'm thinking instead of, like, being in a complete blast, it could be Sonic, you know, using the Chaos Emerald and his speed combined to, like, make it like a Sonic Boom. And not that Sonic Boom. No, not that one either. Hell, not that. Oh, no. An actual Sonic Boom that blasts enemies away. That would be, it would look cool, and it would do something. Like, you know, give Sonic some breathing room so he can recuperate or something. One that I really want to see is like a pinball move where Sonic, like, he hits an enemy and then he can bounce off it to another enemy. And as long as there's another enemy in front of where he's supposed to launch, he can just keep going and make like this chain of like the super cool chain. Another thing is to use his speed as a weapon. Like, obviously, he's Sonic. If Sonic, like, for example, if Sonic runs around an enemy or a group of enemies fast enough, he can get them dizzy and stun them for a few seconds. Now, listen, I'm just spitballing ideas here, but the main idea is that Sonic's moves and attacks need to be more varied than just do damage. Make it fit his character. Up next, and what I feel like is the most important, difficulty. Going back to the ranking system, what makes the ranking system so fun is that it's difficult. It's difficult to get an S rank. So you have to be good in order to get the S rank, which makes it more rewarding than if it's just, oh, you didn't die once, here you go, S rank, which is the problem with Sonic Generations S rank, in my opinion. And a problem with the combat in this game, and for most of the game actually, is that it's just too easy. Once you max out Sonic's strength, basically most enemies are a cakewalk. But there is one island I think does combat pretty good in difficulty, Ouranos Island. This whole island is full of like a bunch of enemies from earlier in the game, but in their final forms, like the White Soldier, the big hammer guy, and the best fight in the game besides the Titans, the Master Ninja, a fully leveled up ninja that makes you use all your skills you have learned in the game. And when you play it without leveling up Sonic, it's actually a real challenge. And I want this to be like the basis for the challenge in the game. First, enemies should scale to Sonic's level. When you go back to Chronos in Sonic Frontiers, all the enemies are the same level. Instead of that, they should scale to what level you are so that you can't just kill them in one shot. Second, and I think that's something that kills difficulty completely in this game, the parry. Oh my god, the parry. You can hold that shit for like 10 seconds and the difficulty's gone. It's a parry. Make it hard to pull off. 1 second, that's all you get. Fuck the playtesters that said it was hard. Get good. And another thing, I know this is easier said than done, but you gotta make you have to make the enemies a bit more dynamic. You have to make them a bit smarter. And I know that's like a whole different situation with AI, and that can be a bit more difficult. But I feel like if you had the enemies parry Sonic's attacks, that would be so, like, for example, oh, this is kind of spoilers. I can't really say it. But I feel like a cool thing that could work is that, let's say Sonic hits an enemy. I feel like the enemy should be able, like the Master Ninja, it should be able to parry Sonic's attacks back. And then Sonic would have to dodge and then go back and attack. Make the enemies way more dynamic and a bit harder to do as the islands progress. Now, finally, this one's kind of a minor problem, but all they have to do is just make the skills be a bit more expensive to unlock. I feel like when Sonic gets to, like, Chaos Island, I already had all the skills unlocked for him. So, like, bump up the XP required to unlock some of the skills. And this also kind of goes into the difficulty, because once you have all the skills unlocked, it's kind of, again, it's kind of easy. All I did was, like, spam the key blast, and a lot of enemies would just die. So, I think if they increase the XP, that would definitely, I think, like, you would have, like, I feel like you shouldn't have all the skills up until Oranos. I feel like it's really ridiculous that I was able to have all the skills by the 3rd island. So please, that would be really nice. And with that, that is basically my ideas on how we can fix combat in the next game. I know this is very, like, spitballing. I feel like I'm missing some stuff, but I feel like these are the 3 basic things that they need to do in order to make combat perfect. Now, they have the blueprint down like this. They have the fun flashiness, they have the different combos and all that stuff. All they have to do is add a ranking, they have to fix the style over substance, and they have to make it difficult. Those are the 3 important things that they have to do. Now, listen, Kishimoto's been listening, and we already know why the parry's like this. We all know why it's a bit easy, because the playtesters are asked, get new playtesters. I'm not saying get Sonic fans, because don't get Sonic fans to playtest. Get actual good players to play the games, please. Get people who are competent. So, I'm going to try starting something with these videos. At the end of the video, I want to do something called a preview, a weekly preview, which I'm basically going to tell you what's going to go on next week and what my plans are. So, next week, I'm definitely dropping the Zelda video. That's gonna go out. I'm very excited for it. I hope y'all watch it. I know y'all don't really watch my Zelda videos, but I hope you guys stick around for it. I'm very excited for it. And I also have some more Sonic videos. I think I have one very interesting that I think you guys are gonna like. And then maybe I'm gonna make another video, like a video not even Zelda or Sonic, because I do want to extend out to some other series. Because my favorite game of all time, Final Fantasy VII. For those who know me, I want to make a video on that. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out. Metal Gear Solid 3 remake is coming out. I want to do a video on that. There's so much I want to do. Obviously, I'm going to be a Sonic channel always. That's going to be my bread and butter. That's what you guys subscribe for, and that's what you guys are going to come here and, watch. But I want to expand and do some other videos, right? So, next week, Zelda video and a Sonic video that I think you guys are going to like. But, that is all you're getting. If you want more, pay for the exclusive premium subscription. That's $19.99 a month. Christ, it's 12 a.m. bro. I should not be doing this shit at 12 a.m. But okay, that's all I have to say for today. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, turn on notifications, comment down below what you guys think of the comment and what you think they could add to make it better, because I would like to hear you guys' opinions. But that's all I have to say for today. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care and bye bye.